here with my good friend, Pastor Bishop, first Vice Apostle, Paul Rhinehart.
He had all kinds
of the New Destiny Christian Center in Clinton, Maryland. They have an impact service every Sunday at 4 p.m. And in all seriousness, if that's a word in the black community, he is the first vice bishop of the Solid Rock Conference that his father founded. And tell us about, you are a part of a major family here in the Washington, D.C. area. Since I was growing up, I've heard of the Rhinehart family. Wow. But because I was a Fort Washington suburban, bougie kid, I didn't know too much about the Rhinehart family. But for all of our listeners and folks that will watch this, tell us about the Rhinehart family.
Oh, well, man. It was 8 of us, my mom and dad had. And I'm the seventh of the 8 children, and certainly, of course, I'm blessed to be the 7th. But all of us, most of us are musically inclined. Mainly my sister, my first sister, my older sister, she passed away in 1977. She had a beautiful voice.
Wow.
But she was gifted. So all of us have been singing since we was kids. My mother, was my father used to say she was the first choir that he had, because she was the singer from South Carolina. And so she has that down-home country flavor that we learned to sing around the house as little kids. And so we just brought it to the church. Certainly been serving the church all our lives. And that's where I started in music ministries. But the Rhinehart family been around a long time. My dad, the late Apostle Nehemiah Rhinehart. Of course, he was a legend, trailblazer in his own right, in the Baptist circle.
Right.
Been pastoring since 1957, I believe.
Wow.
That he started Solid Rock Church, and certainly he certainly made an impact in the Washington metropolitan area. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, is she the 8th child?
She is the baby.
She seems to be the one that's most spoiled. That's why to want to look at
She
this.
is.
I don't know what he talking about. I don't know what he talking about.
She is.
But you all ought to be commended. You're taking care of your mother right now,
Yeah.
and just the entire Rhinehart family. And we lost Rhinehart.
Yeah.
The latter part of last
Wow.
year, and he was a great friend of mine.
Man,
and I
voice.
believe I had the only song that Rhinehart sung on a record.
Is that right?
Rhinehart I and Mike Reed
Yeah,
did
I heard
Ride Out Your Storm in
Out-
2008.
Wow.
And I went back and listened to that, and Rhinehardt's voice just sounds like a trumpet.
Yes,
I mean,
it
not
does.
trumpet, but a French horn.
Yeah.
He's
Powerful.
Yeah. But you know what? You're not only a bishop and a pastor, but you're also a musician.
Yeah.
And a very gifted musician and singer.
Bless
and
you.
you're still playing in church.
Yes.
Hold on. You're a bishop, pastor, and still a musician in church. Is currently serving as the minister of music of the Mount Ephraim Baptist Church.
Exactly.
Dr. Joseph A. Gilmore Jr., who's a great friend of mine.
Yes. Pastor.
Yeah, he's a great friend of mine, and the whole Gilmore family has been wonderful to me. But what are the challenges? I mean, what you want to talk about first, musician or pastor? Let's talk about pastor. You started a church.
Yeah.
You founded a church, organized, however you want to name it.
My second church that I founded.
Second church, because you were in Salisbury, North Carolina.
Salisbury,
I remember
North
that. I
Carolina.
remember when you moved out. I didn't even know you. Now I just remember Paul Rhinehart's leaving New Macedonia.
Yes.
To go to Salisbury, North Carolina.
Right.
So
Man.
so tell us about the struggles of organizing a church.
I'll tell you, people are fickle. You have folks who will start with you. My first church I started with about 47 people, and the Lord blessed us to start there, and we ended up going to the campus of Livingstone College, and we had a great time. Church grew. One of the challenges is that you have young people who will follow you, but they don't have no money.
Come on, he's preaching good. Old people. Where's the organ at? Where's the organ?
I mean, you can grow a church with young people, but you got to make sure that you inspire them to really get jobs and a career, and to help them support themselves, but also to help support ministry.
Absolutely.
And so that was the challenge. One of the challenges I had, but also, I mean, to be committed to ministry, as where your heart is, to get them to hear your heart, and really to take the vision, to walk with the vision, instead of get angry with the vision and get mad with the vision.
Right.
So those are the challenges I know in starting a church. Digging out a church is really hard. Go to any community, you got to really establish yourselves, but also let folks know that you can be trusted.
Right.
As a pastor, because you hear so many horrible stories The church that I went to pastor had a horrible story. I didn't know at the time. I went in there blind, and I find out that I had to heal people who had been broken by a pastor who that kind of took advantage of them. But it's just hard. Anytime you dig out of church, it's my second church. Coming home, building this church, and it's really blessing us. And it's taking time. One pastor told me, he said, listen, the frustration comes when you cut the grass, and you try to look at the grass and grow it again so you can cut it again. So in other words, just go with the flow. Don't try to make sure that folks are growing. Let the word do what it's doing to do.
Right.
And you won't get frustrated, because folks will make you frustrated in ministry.
Right.
Absolutely.
Question. So I know I think you've been playing. You've probably been playing as long as you've been preaching.
Yeah.
Which one you prefer better?
Oh, I love preaching.
Okay.
I mean, while I was pastoring in North Carolina, I really didn't play that much. Absolutely, because my son's a musician.
Very talented individual.
And so they played mainly. I would play when I had to, but I love preaching. Just in the zone.
How do you instill that gift? I have sons too, and my oldest son plays a little bit, but my children really don't do much musically, which is kind of, I'm like kind of wild. Play something you've been seeing me play all these years. What do you do? How do you do that? How do you grow that gift?
My kids were inspired, I guess, from being around it so much.
Okay.
Being in rehearsals with choirs. My son started playing drums when he was probably about 5. So he's always been my drummer, in certain churches that I go to. And my oldest son, PJ, he just got a hunger for it.
Okay.
Certainly, I just inspired him to practice, and I would teach them things. I would sit down and I wouldn't make them, but I would just inspire them. Yeah. Hey, come learn this song with me, And certainly, it's paid off.
Okay.
I mean, they teaching me now.
Who are your children? Is PJ and Jonathan?
PJ and Jonathan, both my boys. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. PJ is the oldest, John is the second, and then I have Victoria. Victoria is the psalmist.
I don't think I met her, have I?
Yeah, she's a singer. You need to meet Victoria.
Okay, where's she at right now?
She helps me out in my church, but she also helps out another church, international church, in I think in Beltsville. That's where she goes. Yeah.
You served under Pastor Walls too.
Oh man, certainly a legend. That was one of the greatest times in my lives. I learned a lot from Pastor Walls, and he was so gracious to me. Matter of fact, my dad and Pastor Walls were great friends, and Pastor Walls was really one of the maybe few people that my dad would let me go play for.
Is that right?
Yeah, Pastor. He trusted Pastor Walls, and so and Pastor Walls, he was just so gracious. He was, Pastor Walls didn't have no degrees or anything, but he was one of the smartest and one of the wisest men that I met in ministry, and how he dealt with people. And I learned just by looking and just by being in his office sometimes and seeing how he handled people. How he handled people who were more educated than him and who was more in terms of education on that, but he handled them, and he built a ministry, an empire over there in New Macedonia.
Wow. Who are some of your ministry or music heroes? I know your dad is one, and Pastor Ball's another, but do you have any other heroes or people that you really look up to or study?
Oh yeah, in terms of music, certainly a whole lot. I remember Harvey Lewis. Coming to our church, and his sister Walona Jones, Pastor Walona Jones. I remember guys as I was a young kid, and I certainly would go to the musicals. The Church of God in Christ.
Yeah.
Danny McCrimmon, as we were talking about him earlier, his brother Ricky McCrimmon, just hanging around those that environment has produced me in terms of my music ability. My music teacher was one of my heroes, Miss Gilks, Beatrice Gilks. She was the music teacher at McKinley. That's where we came out of, right? McKinley High School, and certainly she inspired me. I remember my first teacher was a man called William, Barber. He was my first piano teacher.
Is that right?
Man, he used to hit my hands every day. When I go, he taught me a lot.
You learned, though.
I learned, he
Right,
disciplined me. Yeah.
You a sports fan?
Yeah, I'm a Redskins fan.
No, I'm good, man.
You good?
I'm home.
Let me clarify whose show this is.
Of course.
Him and PJ.
I am a boycotting Cowboys fan.
Is that right?
Same
Yeah,
here.
because
Boycotting Redskins.
I haven't watched. I watched a little bit of the playoffs, but I haven't watched any total game this year.
Yeah.
I just believe that we as African Americans need to do better with ourselves
Yes.
by supporting entities that support us.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I'm talking about more than them just giving us contracts to play football.
Yeah.
I'm talking about real support, acknowledging who we are. We have power,
people.
and giving and helping us. We have to help ourselves.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's why I boycott.
Yeah.
And I want our people to resist temptation.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're fasting, resisting temptation.
Yes.
So that's why I boycotted this year. I have my own reasons.
Yeah.
I'm sure other people have their reasons and why they do it.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
I felt the same way that it really wasn't genuine what they were doing as NFL,
Right.
in terms of supporting. But I just fell off. I fell off the bandwagon. I just say, it's not important to me.
And I just think we need to do more just to band together as people.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
So you watch basketball too?
A little bit. Yeah. I
Okay.
try to follow the Wizards.
That's not a good thing to do right now.
Stay
It's
home.
really making me angry. They changed my spirit is vexed. Can I be? Yeah, my spirit is
my
vexed
Lord.
right, with the Wizards. But we're gonna pray. For the Wizards. I'm not really concerned about hockey.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
I see more of me in hockey, then I'd be concerned about it.
Maybe.
I have a feeling though that if we get into hockey, we might end up hurting somebody.
Yeah, I
See,
think so. A lot of our
Because
frustration
our
will come out.
Caucasian brothers and sisters can fight and walk away.
Right.
But just like mosh pits, I'm not sure if you ever seen a rock mosh pit. They all get together, they fight each other, and I was like, my kids, black people can't do that.
Right.
Because if you put these hands up,
That's it.
you know what I'm saying, to a person of color,
Yeah.
we come in to steal, kill, and destroy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Lord. We come
Y'all can do that,
keep
be
my hands in my
friends.
pocket for a reason, brother.
Y'all can be friends and walk
Keep my
away
hands
and
in
be
my
cool.
pocket.
Yeah, they go get a drink afterwards.
And I like my tea. Yeah.
Well, man, it's been a blessing having you on the show.
It's been a blessing being with
Thank
you.
For more information on how to become a guest on Real Talk with Philip Carter, or for general inquiries, please email us at realtalkwithphilipcarter@yahoo.com. Tune in next Monday for another edition of Real Talk with Philip Carter.